Hi guys, I got some new art supplies. I'm going to give one of them a go. I'm not quite sure what yet. Basically, I'm following a tutorial on Skillshare where she uses paper to paint like these acrylic landscapes, so I would like to do that. So I got this, which is like the cheap, I think this was like £2.99 for, how many's in there, 10 sheets, primed cotton, acid free. So I might start on this actually. Yeah, I went to the range and got these. This is watercolor paper because I've seen some people doing some acrylic painting on watercolor paper. I got 9 by 12 inch. I quite like the texture of that, it's quite nice. And then I thought I would try this acrylic paper as well, Winsor & Newton again. This one's £7.99, they're both £7.99 and that was £2.99. It's got like a grain to it but it feels really smooth, so that'll be quite interesting. But basically at the start of this tutorial that I'm watching, she uses gesso to prime the paper, and she says that when you use gesso and then put like the masking tape over the top of the paper that's got the gesso on it, that's when it doesn't then stick. Like using this stuff stops it from like sticking too bad and ripping the paper. So I thought, oh, I'm gonna get some of that. Seal and stiffen painting surfaces. So I got this. This was, I think, about £8 as well. Again, Art Studio Premium. So it's like the range. I think it's the range own brand. I'm not sure. Apply to raw canvas, hardboard paper, wood and other non-oily porous surfaces. Sand hard, shiny surfaces before applying. Allow 24 hours minimum drying before use. Do not mix with the oils. Oh, okay. So I think I probably only then need to gesso this because this is primed. Perhaps I'll do one without priming it and one with this stuff because it's cheaper, this one. And then I'll definitely prime this one because she used watercolour and primed it. Oh, it does feel like canvas. That's quite interesting. So it's got a canvas texture to it and it's all like floppy like canvas. That's quite cool. So yeah, I've decided that I'm gonna do some acrylic landscapes as well as abstract pieces. Yeah, so the other night I was wanting to do a little bit of acrylic art and I did a couple of little abstract postcards, and then I did this one, which I really like. This is a copy of another artist's work, but I wanted to practice creating in this size, a landscape for one, and also creating in this kind of loose, abstract, but still quite obviously a landscape kind of style. Yeah, I really liked how that turned out. It's obviously nowhere near as good as the actual artist's work, but I was pretty pleased with it. And then I decided to do one that was like of a photograph of my own. This is a picture looking down at Myrtos Beach in Catalonia. I've done a digital piece of this before. I love the colours and stuff, and I thought it'd be quite a good one to have a go at, and it was just on my Instagram feed there ready to go. So yeah, I created this from the reference of my digital piece and I quite like it. It's not perfect, but I like the style. I like that you can see like the texture and the brush strokes and stuff. So I want to do some more acrylic landscapes kind of like these and still kind of keep to this like loose abstracty style. I was going to put myself into the box of I'm just going to be an abstract artist because I really want to focus on something and practice and get good and like kind of niche down, but I also really like having a little bit of variety, and I like the fact that I can do abstract pieces and landscape pieces, and them all, like, eventually as I progress they'll all still look uniform and part of my body of work. I'm going to stick to that route of those two things but try and make them of a similar style. I'm going to do a landscape type piece, something like this, on this canvas paper using a reference photo, kind of following along with the Skillshare class at the same time, just to have something on in the background but also to have something on that is inspiring in the background. I've got frog tape because I've tried different types of tape and this one seems to be the best for like being able to pull it back up afterwards. Yeah, it's such a gloomy day today as well. As I'm filming this, it is the 27th of July and it's miserable. The sky is grey. Look at that weather. It's windy, it's been raining on and off, the sky is grey. So yeah, it's a nice day to be inside. Right, I am going to find a reference picture, sketch out a rough sketch and come back to you. Okay, I don't know if you can see this very well, but this is a rough sketch of this reference image. That's the Whitsundays in Queensland, Australia. And I'm going to attempt to paint something that roughly resembles it in a loose, abstract way. The whole taping it down situation has not worked very well on this surface because I'm on carpet and then I'm on plastic and it's bubbled up a bit and it's not stuck down completely onto the canvas, so I'm not going to have a crisp clean line, but it is what it is. I think I need to add a bit more, like a dark turquoisey colour in around here. I painted this bit while this sky was still wet, so the lightness is coming into those hills and I need a bit more contrast there, but other than that I think I'll leave it as it is. It's not as, I mean, it's abstract, but it's, I don't know, just I think it looks a bit basic, but we'll see once I've got the hairdryer on it and tarted it up what it looks like. This piece I think is caught somewhere in the limbo between abstract landscape and realistic landscape, and it's like, it looks like I've attempted to do something realistic and failed and made a child's painting. Whereas I think with this piece, because I was working from a painting of a landscape rather than a landscape as a reference, like a photograph of a landscape, it ends up working because it's a little bit more imaginary and it doesn't have, I don't feel like it has to look like a particular thing, whereas I think this is trying too hard to look like a thing and missing the mark. I don't know if that makes any sense, but I'm going to try that next. I have done some thumbnail sketches which I put in a previous video, which I was going to be using for digital art and then never, or haven't yet, got round to doing that. And I think maybe if I use some of those sketches as a reference point, it might make for some more interesting art. But we shall see. Getting just the right amount of green in this turquoise is quite difficult. The sky has been a bit of a pain in the neck. I think I'm just leaving it. I think I'm done. Do I add some branches in here? I think I'll only go and ruin it if I do. Okay, one last blast of the hairdryer, then I'm going to peel everything off. I was going to not show you the peel off, but I guess I have to because I was talking about... Oh, well, yeah, it doesn't stick. That's good. Comes off so easy. I don't think that's just because I've just used the hairdryer on it either. I think it is just because it's the canvas material that's primed. Yeah, gone over the edges. That's annoying. I'll do the next one on the table and stretch this out a bit better. There we go. The light in here is not doing the colours justice really, but that is the finished piece. The chaos and the reference. Oh, it feels so strange being on canvas. Let me lay that across my keyboard. So yeah, it's nothing like it. I could have gone lighter and more green, I think, in the foreground and lighter on the trees. I guess it dries darker, doesn't it? Acrylics, I always forget, dries darker. Oh well, it was a good practice, good experiment. Thank you very much for watching and I will see you in the next one. Bye!